Hi, this is Ryan Hoff with your AIC Legislative Minute for March 17th, 2023, brought to you by Nationwide Retirement Solutions. This week, the Indiana General Assembly continued its progress on various issues. A wide variety of legislation was heard in committee, including three of the major bills that AIC is working on for you. First, Senate Bill 4, the Public Health Funding Bill, was heard this week in the House Public Health Committee. The committee took hours of testimony from the public and from public health experts alike. As is often the case with bills of wide-ranging impact, no committee vote was taken this week while the members considered testimony provided and prepare potential amendments. AIC testified in support of this local option, along with members from the Commissioners Association and the Council Association. Senate Bill 325 was also heard this week, dealing with the definition of homestead property for purposes of tax caps and deductions. This bill was requested by AIC and the Assessors Association to clarify what property qualifies as a homestead after a recent Indiana tax court case interpreted Indiana law to allow all improvements located on an acre around the residence to receive the 1% cap and a homestead deduction. This throughout the long-standing interpretation that a homestead was one house, one garage, and 1 acre of land. Problematically, there is no standard for what shape the acre is, nor is there any data set at the county to know where within the parcel any of the buildings stand. So without a legislative definition of homestead that can be administered, assessors will not be able to uniformly or efficiently assess properties. All this is before we even discuss what is an unknown fiscal impact to the counties. The potential cap loss from moving all of these buildings from the 3% cap to the 1% cap, plus awarding homestead deductions, is likely to be high, but can't be quantified because we don't have any data on where these buildings stand in the first place. Through Senate Bill 325, we are asking that uniform and objective standards be returned to the definition so assessors can assess the over 1.8 million homesteads in the state, and at the same time prevent a potentially high amount of revenue lost to the county. Finally, Senate Bill 74, dealing with the MVH fund restriction, was also heard in House Ways and Means Committee this week. It adds snow and ice removal into the definition of preservation for purposes of the MVH fund restriction. AIC testified in support of this bill and further asked that storm and flood cleanup be included after we heard from members in southern Indiana who regularly have these costs rather than snow and salt expenses. All three of these bills were held over for potential amendments and final vote later in the process, with further action eligible next week. Be sure to follow AIC's updates on these and other bills to keep up to speed on the latest happenings in the Indiana State House. This has been the AIC Legislative Minute, brought to you by Nationwide Retirement Solutions.